Hello my fellow gardening gals and guys, welcome back to my channel Serenity Now Garden. My name is Jeannie and I garden in a zone 4B. So today it's the end of May and I'm going to take you through my front garden. We're going to do a garden tour. My garden, there's not a whole lot blooming now because like I said, we're in zone 4B and the spring was really late this year, so everything's about a week or two behind. But there's a couple things like the Thalia daffodils are blooming and we'll kind of see how everything else looks. So if you like garden tours, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and that would really help me out. And let's go up front. Okay guys, time for the first garden tour of the year. I'm so excited. So like I said, this bed is about 3 or 4 years old. This used to be all buckthorn. I just added this section right over here. It's just started with these 2 crab apples. This section that I just added, I did the no dig garden method, so we just kind of have to let the grass die under that. That is a proven winner, Sonic Bloom Weigela. It is pink, so this is the first year I just planted that, and we'll kind of see how big it's gonna get. It's supposed to be about 4 to 5 feet wide and tall, so I got a lot to plant around here. This is a Sutherland gold elderberry. I love it. It really pops against the dark background. So it's one of my favorite plants. You can kind of see it's just about to bloom there. It has little white blooms, but it's looking great this year. It was a small plant when we put it in, so it's got a while to go. It's gonna look great once it fills in that area. Just in front of that, right there, those are my Globemaster Alliums. Those get globes on the end of those. Oh gosh, I think they're about sometimes up to 10 inches in diameter. So I cannot wait to show you guys those. As soon as those are blooming, I will make another video. And I have about 5 of these Wichita blue junipers behind everything. Just kind of, we wanted to create just kind of like a privacy evergreen fence in a way. And I live on kind of a busy road, so we're hoping these grow in nice. And we just love that blue color. There's some Thalia daffodils that are done blooming in front of that. That right there is a Phlox paniculata, so it'll kind of grow in that area. We got a Magnus Coneflower right there. That has a little ways to go before it gets any blooms. Right now we're just, mid-May, so. Right here, this is my Golden Spirit Smoke Bush. So this really pops also. We try to pick yellows when we're against like a darker background. This will really fill in. It's a late bloomer, so it just kind of started growing a bit more. So it'll fill in the rest away. It'll get, 5 or 6 feet tall, and it'll kind of turn a little bit of a green too. More Thalias there. That is more coneflower. And that is a Sedum Metrona. And there's one right next to it as well. It's just a good alternative if you're kind of sick of Autumn Joy Stonecrop Sedum. This is a Junior Walker Catmint, so it will stay a little bit smaller. Nepeta is also called. It won't get as big as the Walker's Low, so a little more compact. Some of these alliums that are coming up, I have Summer Drummers and I also have Purple Sensation, so I don't know which one's which yet, so we kind of just have to wait and see. Well, I got Silver Mound Artemisia, kind of just lining that bed. Look at that color. It is just gorgeous. You have to do nothing to these plants, seriously. Like, you don't even have to fertilize them. They could take the heat, drought tolerant. I have a row of Millennium Allium there. They won't flower until summer, but I like the foliage. I have 5 right there, and I have 5 lining the bed further back. But I'm really excited for these Summer Drummer Alliums because they're supposed to get anywhere from like 60 inches to possibly even taller than that. You can see those tiny little buds on the top there. And that's taller than me. I'm 60 inches tall. So that is going to be, I just can't wait. It's the first year. I have no idea what it's going to be like. So I just kind of repeated the pattern here on the other side of this crabapple. So we got the 5 Millennium Allium, and we got more Silver Mound, and then we just kind of have the Summer Drummer Purple Sensation Alliums. That right there is another Globemaster. I have 5 of those total, and this is the second year, so I cannot wait. That's another Walker Jr. Nepeta. That will start blooming just in a few weeks here. Right in front of that is an aster. I have 4 New England asters here. Purple Dome and Pink Crush. More Millennium Allium right there. And we have a lone Talia daffodil blooming there. That's another aster there. I might give those the Chelsea chap sooner or later in a few weeks, just so they kind of fill in. Here, this in front of this tree is all sun. So I planted one of those mixtures of just ground cover sedum. We got blue spruce in there. We have Angelina in there. We have just like a run-of-the-mill green kind there. It kind of takes over. I believe there's some larger like dragon's blood sedum in there. So on the front of this, like I said, it's all just really hot afternoon sun. And behind this tree, you'll see Hosta, you'll see Ajuga. I got gold Ajuga this year. Cannot wait to see that. So yeah, it's just shade on the other side. And then we got a row of creeping Jenny there. I just wanted a ground cover that was yellow that does well in shade. We got more Talia daffodils, and just in the center of all those daffodils, that is a false indigo Baptisia. So I'm glad to see that come back. Last year I planted it newly and it like broke off on accident. So yep, I'm glad that's coming in. Then we have some Burgundy Glow Ajuga. That's not quite blooming yet, but that'll kind of be nice as a ground cover since there's a lot of weeds back here. I just want, everything to kind of grow in. This is a Roseanne Geranium and right next to it. So these are the really long bloomers. We're talking late spring all the way through mid-fall. I cannot wait. These are the first year that I have these in there. So we'll see how that looks. There's some foxglove. About 7 foxglove I planted behind that creeping Jenny. They are just starting to bloom here, which is actually a little early for mid-May. It's just about May 23rd when I'm filming this. I think they were forced in a greenhouse there, so. But they'll bloom through the summer. This is the other side of my property here, just on the other side of the driveway. This is a Japanese lilac tree. I got this bare rooted about 3 years ago just from an Arbor Day sale in my city. It is gorgeous when it starts blooming. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see the blooms. They'll be white, big white blooms. Just the end of spring, beginning of summer. So that's just about to open. Last year, this didn't bloom because we had a really late frost. So I was so sad. But this year, it's looking good. Let me go behind it here. You could see this garden bed. This is just a shade bed. Check out this hanging basket. It is huge. I just got it from Menards for only like $20. I do not know what kind of flowers these are. So if anybody knows, please put that in the comments below. The tag just said annuals, and it just said like no frost. So yeah, if anybody knows what those are, I really like them. They're really pretty. So what we have here, we have about 7 or 8 little spots of this. I'll zoom in here. This is called Rockin' Low Boogie Woogie Sedum. This area does get some afternoon shade, and it's pretty dry because those are maples, and the maples have really shallow roots, and it just kind of dries up this area. So I'm hoping sedum will help, take hold here. So yeah, that's the Boogie Woogie. This is a Thunderhead Sedum stone crop. It's just more purple compared to the Autumn Joy Sedum, but similar looking. These tulips, they were here when I moved in 4 years ago. I have no idea what they're called, but they come in every year. They never fizzle out, and nothing bothers them. And look at the columbine this year. This is like, it's just loving its life this year. I fertilized it really well. And yeah, we had a really wet late spring, and it must really like that. This is a bleeding heart. It hasn't bloomed yet. Not sure if it's going to bloom. It didn't look great last year, so got to bring that back to life. This is just, oh, I don't know what kind of daffodil. I planted 12 and only one is blooming. I got these from Home Depot, so it's just kind of like a run-of-the-mill. Not sure the variety, but... And excuse me while I'm just getting used to my new gimbal here. And here we have a, oh gosh, that was a Fragrant Bouquet Hosta. Some daffodils that never bloomed, and there's more rock and low Boogie Woogie Sedum. And right behind this garden bed is this Minnesota strain Redbud Tree. So this does good in zone 4. Another bare-rooted tree I just got from the Arbor Day Foundation or Arbor Day sale with my city. This is about 3 years old. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for part 2.